Now, here in France, President Emmanuel Macron has been holding the first of 2 days of international conferences focused on African finance. Today, everyone talking about Sudan.
Well, today's conference was all about Sudan, and Sudan is just emerging from decades of isolation following the ousting of former President Omar al-Bashir. And its economy is in deep crisis with inflation at over 300%. Its power-sharing government has embarked on major economic reforms and austerity measures to revive the economy as it hopes to get the international creditors to begin reducing its debt. France says that it's ready to cancel some $5 billion worth of debt it is owed by Sudan, and it is also offering a bridge loan of $1.5 billion. Let's take a listen to President Emmanuel Macron speaking earlier today.
Il importe aussi.
It's important that the transition be guided by these courageous economic reforms that you have begun implementing. The reduction of the Sudanese debt that will start soon is a first result of these reforms, and the return of Sudan to the international community must be strengthened on economic and political levels.
Des nations soit conforté au plan économique, au plan politique.
Well, Sudan's debt stands at around $60 billion, and much of that is arrears, that is, unpaid interest and penalties. And more than $5.5 billion are owed to international institutions. Countries attending the conference today are said to have largely agreed on clearing Sudan's arrears to the IMF, International Monetary Fund. A large slice of the debt is owed to individual countries, including members of the so-called Paris Club of International Creditors. One particular concern, though, is the amount of debt owed to private creditors at around $6 billion. Sudan's removal from the US list of state sponsors of terrorism at the end of last year made it eligible for the Highly Indebted Poor Countries Programme, which facilitates debt restructuring. In another major business story today, 3 years after its controversial foray into the entertainment industry, US telecoms giant AT&T is pulling back from the sector. The company has signed a deal to spin off Warner Media to merge it with Discovery. Claire Rush reports.
It was only 3 years ago that U.S. telecoms giant AT&T stormed into the media business, acquiring Time Warner Inc. for more than 65 billion euros. But looking to invest more in 5G and facing more than 130 billion euros in debt, AT&T is now shifting its focus away from entertainment. It's set to spin off its media and sports operations, including CNN, HBO, TNT, and Warner Bros. Studios, to combine them with Discovery Inc., which has channels in 220 countries, according to its website. In the U.S., it's largely known for its reality-based cable channels, including the Food Network and HGTV. The combination of two of the largest media operations in the U.S. effectively creates a new standalone company with the goal of creating one of the largest global streaming players. In a joint statement, the two companies said the deal will see AT&T receive $43 billion. Its shareholders will receive stock representing 71% of the new company, while Discovery stockholders will own 29%. Discovery Chief Executive David Zaslav, who will lead the new company, was upbeat about the news.
It is super exciting to combine such historic brands, world-class journalism, and iconic franchises under one roof and unlock so much value and opportunity.
For his part, AT&T Chief Executive John Stankey said the deal positions the new company to become one of the leading direct-to-consumer streaming platforms. The move underscores the extent to which the rapidly evolving media sector is becoming increasingly dominated by streaming.
Well, with that, let's check in on the day's trading action. Worries over rising inflation continue to weigh on the stock market, with tech shares leading a decline on Wall Street. As you can see there, all in the red. Meanwhile, European shares earlier also finished the day in the red, with FTSE and Paris and Frankfurt all finishing the day below the flat line there. The European Union and the United States have agreed to a partial truce in their trade battle. The European Commission announced that it would suspend a tariff hike on American products that was planned for June for up to 6 months. The row began in 2018 when the former US President Donald Trump imposed a 25% import tax on European steel and 10% on aluminium. Brussels responded with counter tariffs on 2.8 billion euros worth of US goods, such as whiskey and jeans. In a joint statement on Monday, both sides said that as partners, they could try and hold countries like China to account for what they called trade distorting practices and tackle the problem of oversupply globally. And that's it for business for now.
Thank you very much indeed. Yuka Roya with today's business update. Thank you so much.